Okay, good afternoon, everyone. It's now 5 o'clock, and we'll begin our Committee of Adjustment meeting for the month of July. For everyone's information, we will generally deal with each application according to the order of the agenda. Extra copies are available on the back table there. Anyone present who wishes to speak in support or against an application, as well as anyone with questions or concerns, will have an opportunity to speak. The committee will make their decision following each application. If there's anyone present who is not an applicant or an agent but is interested in the decision of the committee, you may file your interest with our Secretary-Treasurer. Please list the file number, your full name, and mailing address. Copies of the decisions are automatically sent to the applicant and agent within 15 days of today's meeting. Only the applicant, the minister, a specified person, or any public body may appeal decisions in respect to applications for consent or minor variance to the Ontario Land Tribunal. The decisions are final if there are no appeals 20 days after the committee's decision. May I remind everyone we are being recorded. To mute your devices, as well as if you wish to speak to an application, make your way to the podium, ensure the mic is on, state your name, first and last name, and you'll have 5 minutes to speak. First order of business is determine if any of the members have any disclosures of interest when considering any of the applications that we'll be dealing with. Are there any disclosures, please? Councillor Van Passen.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman. I will declare a conflict on item 4.8. It's BNPL 2025-108.
Okay, thank you. Noted. Anybody else? And we have on the line Peter is with us online. Have all the members received the minutes of the previous meeting? Are there any errors or omissions? If not, I have a resolution before me. I need a mover and a seconder, please. Moved by Linda. Seconded by Phil. All in favor? And that's carried. Okay. First application is ANPL 2025-106, and the planner can give the report, please.
Through the chair, an application has been received requesting relief from the maximum permitted lot coverage, minimum rear yard setback, and minimum lot area provisions to construct a vacation home. The lands front onto the east side of Cedar Drive and Turkey Point and are designated and zoned resort residential. The subject application meets the 4 tests of a minor variance. Planning staff recommend that this application be approved.
Okay, thank you. Any questions? Is there an agent or applicant? My button on the right.
Good evening. I'm the agent. I'm Margie Hebert. I will be presenting 376 Cedar Drive, Turkey Point presentation today on behalf of Prominent Homes. Next slide, please. The existing site, 0.07 hectares, is zoned resort residential. The property is currently being used as a year-round cottage with an existing boathouse with a combined lot coverage of 40%. Next slide, please. Our vision intent is to build the following: a 2-story residential dwelling with attached garage, septic system treatment, and the existing boathouse will remain as is. Next slide, please. The main floor plan is 1,448 square feet. It has an attached garage that is 771 square feet. Next slide, please. The second floor plan is 2,111 square feet. This is the rear elevation, so this is what we're proposing. There's just a balcony off the deck. There's a attached garage that goes all the way through, so you have front access from the garage as well as the back. Next slide, please. So this is the site plan. You can see the proposed driveway at the top left-hand corner. You can also see the septic system that we've designed. There's the tank by the house, as well as the slab-on-grade house and partially covered deck. In the back is the existing boathouse. Next slide, please. So we have an innovative solution for the septic system treatment. So we're designing a compact septic system treatment that allows for proper waste disposal in smaller locations. This system has been designed and approved for the current soil conditions, lot size, and fixture count by a professional septic designer to ensure that it will fit and function properly on this specific lot. Next slide, please. So these are our zoning deficiencies. We have lot area, lot coverage, and rear yard setback. So I'll go over these individually. So the first is the lot area. The lot area deficiency is 0.33 hectares. It's not out of the norm in this area. As you can see on the aerial map from Norfolk County Mapping, most lots are within this range. Next slide. Zoning deficiency number 2 is lot coverage. There are several existing cottages in the surrounding Turkey Point area with the RR zone that have more lot coverage than requested in our application, as seen in the live images attached. These are just a few in the area. Next slide, please. Zoning deficiency number 3 is the rear yard setback. The rear yard setback deficiency, I believe, is minor in nature. There will be a reduction in rear yard setback from the existing deck to the proposed lot coverage. So on the grading plan in the image, you can tell that the existing deck is actually closer to the lot line than the newly proposed one. Next slide. So for neighborhood compatibility, I would say all in all, many of the surrounding homes are two-story. Homes within this neighborhood have higher lot coverages similar to our proposed application, and I would say the aesthetic curb appeal lends itself to the beachy vibes in the neighborhood. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Any questions to the committee? Seeing none, is there anyone present that wishes to speak to this application? No? Thank you. Any the wishes of the committee are? Phil? I'll move to approve. Okay. New forms. Where's Phil's name? There it is. Seconder? Linda. File number ANPL 2025106. In accordance with Section 45(1) of the Planning Act, the requested relief is considered to be appropriate for the proposed development, minor in nature, maintains the general intent of the official plan, the zoning bylaw, and that no public input was received and therefore has not been considered as part of this application. All those in favor? And that's carried. Next up is ANPL 2025116 in the name of Steve Norris, and the planner can give the report, please.
Through the chair, an application has been received requesting relief from the minimum lot area, lot frontage, front yard setback, interior side yard setback, and exterior side yard setback provisions to permit the construction of a single detached dwelling. The lands front onto the south side of New Lakeshore Road and the east side of Kenneth Ave in the geographic township of Woodhouse in an area known as the Vaughan Survey. The subject application meets the 4 tests of a minor variance. Planning staff recommend that this application be approved.
Okay, thank you. Any questions of the planner? Is there, oh, Linda, go ahead.
Just in the report, it commented about parking in the site triangle. Is that an issue?
Through the chair, I believe that was just raised for their awareness because it's a corner lot. So when they're doing the final design of their property, they just have to make sure there's no parking in that location.
Okay, anybody else? Is there an agent or applicant present? Oh.
I'm Margie, the agent for this application on behalf of Prominent Homes. Next slide. The existing site of 0.0 hectares is zoned agricultural. The property is currently vacant and nested on the corner of Kenneth Ave and New Lakeshore Road. So our vision intent is just a 1-story residential dwelling with attached garage and a septic treatment system. So the main floor is 1,148 square feet, and the garage is 550 square feet. For the basement floor plan, it'll just be an unfinished basement. Next slide. So some considerations, special consideration has been taken for the spatial allowance for a septic system, which will allow for proper waste disposal. This system has been designed and approved for the current soil conditions, lot size, and fixture count by a professional septic designer to ensure that it will fit and function properly on this specific lot. The other consideration is the location of the site triangle. This has been properly accounted for in our building design. We do have a consideration. Due to the potential concern of the stop sign being so close to the driveway, we have cleared it with the client to have the house flipped as a condition. So these are our zoning deficiencies. We have lot area, lot frontage, and then 3 setbacks. And I will go over each one. So for the lot area deficiency of 39.93 hectares is due to the agricultural zoning. However, it is within the range of existing lot sizes in the area. The size of the lot does in fact accommodate the necessary site triangle septic system and house with attached garage. The next zoning deficiency is the lot frontage. This site has a lot frontage of 75 feet, and based on Norfolk County mapping, the surrounding dwellings on this block have similar lot frontages as seen in the images attached. So we can see in the images below, there's a couple of examples of 2 houses, one across and one beside our lot, and one has 70 feet and the other one is 75, so we're within the range. So for the next zoning deficiency, it'll be the 3 setbacks that I'll be tackling. So for the front yard setback, we believe it's minor in nature considering the front yard setbacks of neighboring dwellings. So in the image below, we can see that our proposed setback from the property line is 7 meters. And if we look at the house across the road, it's 7.25 meters. And I would say all the houses within the area are very similar. The interior side yard setback, I would also say is minor in nature, considering the majority of the neighboring properties are closer to the 1.2 meter side yard setback. And also the 1.2 meter setback is also in good standing with the typical fire prevention setback of OBC. The exterior side yard setback deficiency of 9.76 meters still maintains the minimum 3 meter property line setback, which would typically apply to residential dwellings. And I believe our setback will maintain the site triangle for traffic coming around the corner. We also took into consideration the existing municipal drains. So as discussed with the municipality, there is an open ditch municipal drain running along Kenneth Ave and New Lakeshore. We've received confirmation that these specific drains will not require their own setbacks. This is because the necessary work will be conducted from the roadside and any excavated material will be promptly loaded and transported to an approved disposal site. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Any questions? No? Is there anyone present that wishes to speak to this application? The wishes of the committee? Linda? Adam? File number ANPL 2025-116. In accordance with Section 45(1) of the Planning Act, the requested relief is considered to be appropriate for the proposed development. Minor in nature, conforms with the official plan and maintains the general intent of the zoning bylaw. No public input was received and therefore has not been considered as part of this application. All those in favor? And that's carried. Thank you. Next up is ANPL 2025-172. Robin Brewer. The planner can give the report, please.
Thank you. Through the chair, an application has been received seeking relief of section 3.21B of zoning bylaw 1Z 2014 to permit the construction of an accessory building, a garage, in the front yard within the resort residential zone. The subject lands are zoned and designated as as resort residential. The subject lands are 621 feet square meters in size and front onto the east side of Cedar Drive in the resort area of Turkey Point. The site contains an existing vacation home as well as a shed that is to be removed. The surrounding land uses are mostly vacation homes, with Lake Erie located directly adjacent to the east at the rear of the property. It is a professional opinion of the planning staff that this proposal meets the 4 tests of the Planning Act and should be approved. Thank you.
Thank you. Any questions? Is there an agent or applicant present?
Hi there, I'm the agent. I'm Kim Ziegel from the permit shop, and I'm just here for any questions.
Okay, thank you. Anybody have any questions of her? No? Is there anyone present that wishes to speak to this application? No? The wishes of the committee are? Councillor Berry?
Motion to approve.
And Linda? File number ANPL 2025-172, in accordance with Section 45(1) of the Planning Act, the requested relief is considered to be appropriate for the proposed development, minor in nature, maintains the general intent of the official plan and the zoning bylaw. No public input was received, and therefore has not been considered as part of this application. All in favor? And that is carried. Next up is ANPL 2025-143 in the name of Johann and Susan Newfound, and the planner can give the report, please.
An application has been received requesting relief from the maximum permitted usable floor area and permitted distance from a primary dwelling to construct an additional residential dwelling unit. The lands front onto the southeast side of Glenmire Road in the geographic township of Houghton. The subject application meets the 4 tests of a minor variance. Planning staff recommend that this application be approved.
Thank you. Any questions? Is there an agent or applicant present again?
Hello, Kim Ziegel, the agent again. I'm here for questions if you
Okay,
have them.
thank you. Do you have another one after this? You might want to stay up. Any questions? No? Okay. Is there anyone present that wishes to speak to this application? No? The wishes of the committee are? Joe? Joe moves to approve. Seconder? Phil? ANPL 2025-143, in accordance with Section 45(1) of the Planning Act, the requested relief is considered to be appropriate for the proposed development, minor in nature, maintains the general intent of the official plan, zoning bylaw, no public input was received, and therefore has not been considered as part of this application. All in favor? And that's carried. Okay, next up is ANPL 2025-151, Peter and Lorianne Hutz. And the planner can get the report, please.
Thank you. Through the chair, an application has been received seeking relief of 164.69 square meters from the maximum usable floor area for accessory structures to allow a total usable floor area of 364.69 square meters to allow for the construction of an accessory building within the agricultural zone. The requested relief would account for an existing accessory building having a usable floor area of 67.38 square meters and a proposed accessory building having a usable floor area of 297.31 square meters. The subject lands are located on the north side of Wyndham Center Road Wyndham Center Road, west of its intersection with Wyndham East Quarterline Road. The area of the subject lands is approximately 7,082 square meters, with approximately 92.5 meters of frontage onto Wyndham Center Road. The subject lands are occupied by a single detached dwelling, 2 existing garages, and a coverall structure and a shed. The coverall structure and 2 garages are proposed to be removed and the new shop to be built. Upon a visit to the site, it was discovered that one of the existing garages and the shed were not included within the drawings with the application, but after discussion with the agent, staff was advised that the additional structures would be removed to facilitate the construction of the new structure. The subject lands are designated and zoned as agricultural. It is the professional opinion of planning staff that the application meets the 4 tests of a minor variance. Planning staff recommend that this application be approved.
Okay, thank you. Any questions? Agent or applicant?
Kim Ziegel, here for any questions.
Thank you. Any questions? Is there anyone present that wishes to speak to this application? The wishes of the committee are? Phil? Lisa? Who died? File number ANPL 2025151. In accordance with Section 45(1) of the Planning Act, the requested relief is considered to be appropriate for the proposed development, minor in nature, maintains the general intent of the official plan, the zoning bylaw, and no public input was received, and therefore is not being considered as part of this application. All in favor? And that's carried. File number BNPL 2025066, David Mark Verhove, and the planner can give the report, please.
Through the chair, I'm just going to ask that applications BNPL 2020, BNPL 2025-066, ANPL 2025-065, and ANPL 2025-121 all be presented together as they're all pertinent. Thank you. Okay, so in that case, BNPL 2025-066, an application has been received for a technical severance of lands merged on title with a frontage and width of 625 meters and a regular depth from 95.10 meters to 590.89 meters and a lot area of 16.7 hectares, and to retain a lot with an area of 28.45 hectares in the agricultural zone. For ANPL 2025-065, an application has been received to seek relief of 11.55 hectares in lot area to allow a total lot area of 28.45 hectares in the agricultural zone following a technical severance. And for ANPL 2025-121, an application has been received to seek relief of 23.25 hectares in lot area to allow a total lot area of 16.75 hectares in the agricultural zone following a technical severance. The subject lands are located on the east side of Fertilizer Road, south of its intersection with Wilson Avenue. The area of the subject lands is approximately 45.2 hectares, with approximately 1,023 meters of frontage onto Fertilizer Road. The subject lands are occupied by a single detached dwelling and several agricultural buildings. The subject lands are designated and zoned as agricultural and hazard lands. In regards to the consent application, the PPS allows lot creation in prime agricultural areas for agricultural purposes. In this case, 2 farm parcels that were previously existed and were merged on title are just being recreated. The application is consistent with the PPS and the intent of the official plan. The proposed severance would result in deficiencies in lot size for both the severed and retained lots, and the associated minor variances seek to rectify those deficiencies. In regards to the minor variances, the proposed minor variances seek to rectify the deficiencies created by the technical severance for the lots which previously existed separately. Both lots will remain large enough to suit the agricultural use. As such, both applications conform to the general intent and purpose of the official plan, the general intent and purpose of the zoning bylaw, and can be considered appropriate and minor in nature. In conclusion, planning staff recommend the approval of all 3 applications with the consent to be subject to the conditions included within the report. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Is there an agent or applicant present? Nathan? Were there any questions of the planner before we hear from Nathan? No? Phil? Sorry.
When these merged, I'm sorry, through the chair. When these parcels merged, was there a severance for a house that was surplus at that point?
Not to my knowledge, no.
Okay.
Anybody else? Nathan, you're up.
Good evening. Thank you, staff, for the report. I have nothing unless you have questions.
Thank you. Any questions? Councillor Van Passen has a question.
No, I'm jumping ahead, sorry. I just was ready to move the
Oh,
motion.
okay, well, there's no questions, we'll accept that.
I've got to undo some lawyer's mistake in the past, so I'd be happy to move the motion to fix
Okay,
that.
all right, yeah, so there is, there is a, oh, boy. Now the truth comes out. So are you moving all three of these?
Yes, I would, Mr. Chairman.
And a seconder, please? Lisa, thank you. All three? Okay. I'm getting there. Oh, yeah, you caught me again, didn't you? Is there anyone present or online that wishes to speak to any or all three of these applications, please? No, hearing none. We have a mover and a seconder, just a second. So we will vote on these separately. File number BNPL 2025066, moved by Councillor Van Passen, seconded by Lisa. All in favor? And that's carried. And ANPL 2025065. All in favor? That's carried also. Okay, Josh. ANPL 2025121. All in favor? And that's carried. Okay. Next up, BNPL 2025092, Robin Post, and the planner can give the report, please.
An application has been received to sever a dwelling made surplus through farm amalgamation. The lands front onto the south side of Concession 3 Townsend in the geographic township of Townsend. The lands proposed to be severed are approximately 1 hectare in size. The subject application is consistent with the provincial planning statement and conforms to the policies of the official plan. Planning staff recommend that this application be approved, subject to the attached conditions.
Any questions? Linda?
It seems like a very large lot. Is it like a wooded area? It's not being farmed? Or why is it so large?
Through the chair, it's to accommodate the well that's at the rear of the property. And none of the land was being farmed, so no agricultural active land is being removed.
Okay, thank you.
Anybody else? Councillor Van Passen.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. When they describe the retained lands, they have a frontage of 7.52 meters, but it goes all the way around. There's another 64 meters on the other side. Is there a reason why we don't count that part?
Through the chair, technically they do have frontage on both sides. I think maybe that's referring to the fact that the west side is all hazard land, so they can't use it for access. So I assume that's why.
Okay, anybody else? Is there an agent or applicant present?
Good evening, committee. My name is Kayla DeLay. I'm a registered professional planner and agent on behalf of Robin Poss, and I'm just here to answer any questions that the committee may have.
Okay, thank you. Any questions? No? Is there anyone present or online that wishes to speak to this application? No? Committee, what are the wishes of the committee? Lisa?
I'll move to approve.
Seconded by Linda. File number BNPL 2025092, The proposed development is consistent with the provincial planning statement, conforms to the Norfolk County official plan, complies with the zoning bylaw 1Z2014, subject to a zoning bylaw amendment of the retained lot, and no public input was received, and therefore has not been considered as part of this application. All in favor? And that's carried. BNPL 2025-108, P&S Van Berlo Limited. And the planner can give the report, please.
Through the chair, an application has been received to sever a dwelling made surplus through farm amalgamation. The lands front onto the north side of Victoria Road in the geographic township of Woodhouse. The lands proposed to be severed are approximately 0.7 hectares in size. The subject application is consistent with the provincial planning statement and conforms to the policies of the official plan. Planning staff recommend that this application be approved subject to the attached conditions.
Okay, thank you. Questions? Agent or applicant present?
Okay. Good evening. My name is Courtney Boyd. I'm here as agent for the applicant. In case you hadn't perused the entire staff report or the planning justification, I just wanted to note that these lands were previously granted a consent, same dimensions, but unfortunately the conditions lapsed, so that's why we're back here today.
So it's just a re-up?
Exactly.
Okay, very good. Any questions? Is there anyone present that, or online that wishes to speak to this application? No? The wishes of the committee are? Linda? Joe? File number BNPL 2025-108. This application is consistent with the PPS, conforms with the intent of the Norfolk County official plan, complies with the zoning bylaw, subject to required zoning bylaw amendment to prohibit new residential uses on the retained lands and address the zoning bylaw deficiencies, and no public input was received and therefore has not been considered as part of this application. All in favor? And that's carried. Yes. Okay, next up, BNPL 2025-096, Heritage Grown Inc. And the planner can give the report, please.
Thank you. Through the chair, an application has been received to sever a parcel having a frontage and width of 40.38 meters, a depth of 61.56 meters, and a lot area of 2,500 square meters as a dwelling made surplus to the needs of agriculture, and to retain a lot having a lot area of 19.23 hectares. This application would be considered concurrently with a zoning bylaw amendment to remove a single detached dwelling as a use on the retained lands. The subject lands are located on the east side of Elgin County Road 55, north of its intersection with Lower Side Road. The area of the subject lands is approximately 19.5 hectares, with approximately 326.5 meters of frontage onto Elgin County Road 55. The subject lands are occupied by a single detached dwelling, a barn, and a drive shed, with the proposed dwelling to be included on the severed lands and the barn and drive shed to be included on the retained. The property is designated and zoned as agricultural. The Provincial Planning Statement 2024 states that lot creation in prime agricultural areas is permitted for one new residential lot made surplus to farming operation, provided that the lot is limited to a minimum size needed to accommodate the use and the appropriate sewage and water services. The proposed severance does meet these criteria. The application satisfies the criteria for a severance made dwelling as per the official plan. The proposed severed lands are minimum size to meet the needs of the residential property and won't remove any active farmland from production. Comments from the zoning administrator indicate that the retained lands would see an increase in total deficiency in lot area of 20.77 hectares. Comments from the building department has also indicated that spatial separation calculations are required as per the OBC subsection 9.10.14. Conditions have been included to address these concerns. In conclusion, it is the opinion of planning staff that the proposal meets the requirements of the Planning Act, the Provincial Planning Statement 2024, the Norfolk County Official Plan, and meets the intended purpose of the Norfolk County zoning bylaw. The proposal is recommended for approval, subject to the conditions attached in the report. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Any questions? Is there an agent or applicant present? Is there anyone present or online that wishes to speak to this application? No? The wishes of the committee are? Adam. Seconder? Councillor Van Pasten. File number BNPL 2025096. The application is consistent with the PPS, conforms with the policy of the Norfolk County Official Plan regarding consent to sever policies in the ag zone, agriculture designation, and meets the intent of the zoning bylaw. No public input was received, therefore has not been considered as part of this application. All those in favor? And that's carried. File number BNPL 2024326, Strawberry Time Farms, Inc. And the planner can give the report, please.
Thank you. Through the chair, an application has been received for consent to sever lands having a frontage of 37 meters, a depth of 37 meters, and a lot area of 0.13 hectares, and to retain a parcel having a lot area of 49.5 hectares as a dwelling surplus to the needs of agriculture. The application is also being considered concurrently with a zoning bylaw amendment to remove a single detached dwelling as a use on the retained lands. The subject lands are located on the north side of St. John's Road West, east of its intersection with Turkey Point Road. The area of the subject lands is approximately 49.6 hectares, with approximately 542 meters of frontage onto St. John's Road West. The subject lands are occupied by a dwelling, a storage shed, a barn, and 2 agricultural storage sheds. The dwelling and storage shed are proposed to be included on the severed lands, with the barn and agricultural storage sheds to be retained. The proposed severed lot was severed previously, but was later merged on title and is currently considered to be of the same parcel as 1,111 St. John's Road West, which would form the retained lands. The subject lands are designated and zoned as agricultural. The subject application meets the requirement for lot creation within prime agricultural areas, as well as the consent to sever policies of the Norfolk County Official Plan. The proposed severed lot is a minimum size needed to accommodate the residential use and the appropriate water and sewage services, and does not remove any active farm land from production. The lot is less than the minimum lot area, and the proposed rear yard setback is deficient by 2.21 meters, with the rear deck requiring verification for the setback. These deficiencies are the result in minimizing the lot size and avoiding the removal of actively farmed land. In addition, the dimension of the proposed severed lot matched those of the previous severance that severed the lot. The minor variance, a minor variance is required to address these deficiencies. In conclusion, it is the opinion of staff that the application meets the requirements of the Planning Act, the Provincial Planning Statement 2024, conforms to the Norfolk County Official Plan, and the intent and purpose of the Norfolk County zoning bylaw. This application is recommended for approval, subject to conditions. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Questions? Is there an agent or applicant present? Nathan? Nothing to add, he says. Okay. Any questions of the planner? That guy over there. Is there anyone present that wishes to speak to this application online or in the House? No? The wishes of the committee are? Phil? Lisa? File number BNPL 2024326. The application is consistent with the provincial policy statement, conforms to the policies of the Norfolk County Official Plan regarding consent to sever in the agriculture designation, and meets the intent of the zoning bylaw, and that no public input was received and therefore has not been considered as part of this application. All those in favor? And that's carried. Next up is file number ANPL 2025031. William Hayes, and the planner can give the report, please.
An application has been received requesting relief from the maximum permitted usable floor area, height, and lot coverage, and minimum required interior side yard setback, front yard setback, and deck setback to recognize an accessory building established without the benefit of a building permit. The lands front onto the northwest side of McNabb Street East in the urban area of Port Dover. Staff note that the application was amended between the time it was circulated and when the report was written. Since the relief requested was decreased rather than increased, a new circulation was not required. The subject application meets the 4 tests of a minor variance. Planning staff recommend that this application be approved.
Okay, thank you. Any questions? Is there an agent or applicant present? No? Is there anyone present that wishes to speak to this application or online? No? The wishes of the committee are? Linda? Linda? Seconded? Phil? ANPL 2025031 and name William Hayes. In accordance with Section 45(1) of the Planning Act, the requested relief is considered to be appropriate for the proposed development. Minor in nature, maintains the general intent of the official plan and the zoning bylaw. No public input was received and therefore has not been considered as part of the application. All those in favor? And that's carried. Next up, file number ANPL 2025070. Planner can give the report, please.
Thank you. Through the chair, an application has been received to seek relief of 9.84% from the maximum permitted lot coverage of 15% to permit a garage addition to an existing cottage for a total lot coverage of 24.84%, 7.45% for the maximum permitted lot coverage for accessory buildings of 10% to allow a total lot coverage of 17.45%. For accessory buildings, 3.3 meters in maximum height for a boathouse to allow a total height of 8.3 meters, and 70.36 square meters of usable floor area to allow a total usable floor area of 126.36 square meters for a boathouse in the RR zone. The subject lands are located at 23 Teal Avenue, north of its intersection with Erie Boulevard. The area of the subject lands is approximately 698.7 square meters, with approximately 17.3 meters of frontage onto Teal Avenue. The subject lands are occupied by a single detached vacation home, a utility shed, and a boathouse. The boathouse is proposed to be replaced and an attached garage and mudroom addition to be constructed as part of the vacation home, with the existing shed to be removed. The subject lands are designated and zoned as resort residential, which allows for vacation homes and other accessory dwellings, or other accessory buildings. The subject lands are within the Long Point and Turkey Point resort area's safe access special policy area, with the intent of that special area to recognize that communities that are served by limited road links, which could be compromised to the point of interrupting safe access. In this case, a vacation home already exists on the property, with the proposal seeking to construct a garage and addition. As such, the proposed development conforms to the general intent and purpose of the official plan. Larger vacation homes and boathouses have become common in Long Point and are therefore the development is appropriate for the lands in question. Based on the existing state of the property and the surrounding neighborhood, the development would be considered to be minor in nature. However, through the agency circulation, it was noted by the zoning administrator and building department that measurements in the application did not match the drawings provided. These measurements have been provided and reviewed by the commenting parties, but due to the discrepancies in the newly provided figures and the submitted application, the application must be recirculated and the public notified appropriately. As such, planning staff recommend the application be deferred at this time. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Questions? Applicant or agent? Dave?
Good afternoon. My name's Dave McPherson. I'm the agent for the property owner. I became aware of what has been described to you as discrepancies between the site plan and the building plans late Friday afternoon. I scrambled like crazy Monday. We have got, the building department has agreed with the new revised plans I've provided, with the new site plan I've provided, so there are no discrepancies whatsoever. And as you are aware from a previous application I did, amendments like this can be made right on the spot before you make a decision. It doesn't have to be recirculated. Section 53 of the Planning Act permits me to amend this application in front of you to make the plans that I've submitted match the site plan that's been submitted. So that's what we've done. Everything's in order. The planner has told you that it otherwise complies. I'm asking, rather than deferring it for no reason, to approve it.
Okay.
And I'm here to answer any questions regarding that.
Okay. Any questions? I'm just going to, Councillor Van Passen.
Well, the application, are those numbers correct, or like the relief of 9.8% maximum lot coverage,
well, there's two sets of calculations. Yeah. One for the garage being added to the house. Those are correct. There's another set of calculations provided for the boathouse. I don't know what you have in front of you, but the ones that I submitted to the planner are correct, and the building department has deemed them as correct. So I don't know between Monday and today if that information got to Sherry so she could circulate to you. But the C1 matrix I provided for the boathouse, and that's the only thing in question was the boathouse. That matrix, those calculations are deemed correct by the building department. Okay, and that information's been circulated to the planners and to the manager of planning.
Because if you're asking us to approve something, we have to have the correct numbers in whatever we approve. So,
well, I can tell you what those numbers are, but I don't know what's in front of you, because what was, just bear with me.
Through the chair, the reason we are recommending it be recirculated is because some of the relief is larger than what was requested, and there's a new relief being requested as well. Also, Section 53 of the Planning Act does refer to consents. So, Dave, I'm not sure which part, I'd like you to show me which part. I know a lot changed while I was off work, but Section 53 does refer to consents, not minor variances. So it's up to the committee, of course, what you would like to approve, but typically, we would see a recirculation. We could read you the numbers if you would prefer.
Yeah, if you could read off those numbers. What's on Councillor Van Passen's screen, the numbers as it pertains to the cottage are correct. It's just the numbers for the boathouse that are incorrect.
Yep, sorry, bear with me just a moment here. So relief for the cottage was noted for today as 9.84% from the maximum lot coverage to permit 24.84. That is the correct value. For the boathouse, this is the second set of numbers. The lot coverage has been updated to sorry, let me just see. So the deficiency has decreased for the lot coverage. The requested relief initially was 7.45%, whereas the new deficiency would be actually 4.50, so that wouldn't be a problem. The maximum height has decreased by 0.1 meters, so from 3.3 meters for a total of 8.3 meters to 8.2 meters, so a deficiency of 3.2 meters. But it's the usable floor area, the calculation for that, the initial deficiency was, the initial relief requested was 70.36 square meters of usable floor area, whereas the new deficiency would be deficient by 114.35 square meters, so a rather significant increase there. And then a new deficiency was noted for the interior side yard setback, requiring relief of 1.3 meters. Or sorry, 0.3 meters, my apologies. So the issue here is that the usable floor area is larger in the updated values that were provided, and the interior side yard setback would also need to be added in. So that's why we would have to recirculate it at this point.
Okay. In Troy's response, the zoning administrator's response, on usable floor area, I had initially calculated everything. I included the exterior stair and the exterior deck. Troy's response to me, which has been circulated to the planning staff as well, is that those values are not considered part of the usable floor area. So the actual usable floor area can be reduced down to what we're asking for is a deficiency of 84 square meters.
I'm just going to ask planning staff, what was the number you came up with, of 113 or something? 114.35.
Yes, that's correct.
And it can be reduced to 84
Okay.
by deleting the stair and the deck.
So just through the chair, that would still be an increase in the usable floor area that was initially submitted, which was 70.36 square meters. That was requested for the relief.
They requested 70.36, and Dave, you're saying 84 is what you're after?
That's correct.
Okay. Any other comments or questions from the committee? Councilor Van Passen?
Is the footprint of the proposed boathouse, has it changed?
Yeah, can you show the site plan? The existing boathouse is not over top of the existing boat well. But the new boathouse is going to be over top, excuse me, of the boat well. And all it is a 4-foot walkway on both sides and across the front. The boathouse with a dry base is not really a boathouse. So that's going to be demolished, and the boathouse will be constructed over top of the boat well with a 4-foot walkway around it. So
Well, my question is more from when the document that was circulated.
well, that was always the case.
But the footprint of that has not changed. It's just how different people calculate usable floor area within that, what was circulated?
That's correct.
Okay, thank you.
So my question is, the boathouse that's existing is not in a logical place.
That's
The
correct.
new boathouse will be, is there a difference in square footage?
Yes, there is.
Okay,
But the existing boathouse is going to be demolished.
right,
Along with a couple other accessory buildings on the property
okay.
to make way for a boathouse that's actually over top of the boat well,
I got you. Okay. Okay.
okay? And the whole usable floor area of a boathouse is problematic because the only floor area,
It's over the water.
yes, it's water, and then a 4-foot walkway around the perimeter so you can get onto your boat.
Okay. Any other questions from the committee? Joe?
The planners mentioned a setback that wasn't in the report. Is the setback with regards to the boathouse or the garage?
It's to the boathouse. Through the chair, it's to the boat. It's for the boathouse.
Okay.
And that setback is to the exterior stair, so the only real impact is where the stair touches the ground. The rest of it is in the air.
Okay. Okay, Dave. We'll move on and see where this goes. Any other comments from the planning staff, please? No? Okay. Is there anyone present or online that wishes to speak to this application? No? What are the wishes of the committee? We have a recommendation for deferral, but I'll entertain anything else. Going once? Linda?
Well, just a comment, I feel like I realized the circulation was incorrect, but it seems to be relatively minor. So I would be open to approving it.
So you're moving to approve with any conditions attached? or-
Let me just ask the planning staff, do you feel the increases are minor from what was circulated originally?
Through the chair, the usable floor area calculation's significantly larger than what was permitted, even if it's the 84 square meters. Although our zoning administrator has specified that it is supposed to be 114.35 as a deficiency there. And the fact that there's another relief needed is not, it wouldn't be we would need to recirculate that, in my opinion.
Okay.
Thank you.
Councillor Berry.
I'll make the motion to defer.
Move to approve?
Defer.
Oh, defer, I'm sorry. Joe seconds that. We have a motion for deferral on the floor. All in favor? 1, 2, 3, 4. What's Peter doing? Peter is that carries. Okay. Deferral. Sorry, Dave. Okay, next up is ANPL 2025-114, Maria Rakima, and the planner can give the report, please.
Thank you. Through the chair, an application has been received to seek relief to permit a lot, to permit a lot with an area of 856.6 square meters, 5% in lot coverage to allow for a lot coverage of 20% and 3.5 meters reduction in front yard setback to allow for a front yard setback of 2.5 meters in the RR zone. The property is designated and zoned as rural residential, as resort residential, my fault. The subject lands are 856.6 square meters in size and front onto the northwest side of Harold Street in Turkey Point. The site is gently sloped. There is an existing cottage on the site that is to be demolished. Surrounding land uses are predominantly seasonal residential homes. It is the planning staff's opinion that this meets the 4 tests of the Planning Act and should be approved. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Any questions? Is there a agent or applicant?
Good afternoon, Chairman Strange, committee. planners. Daryl Hagan, representing the landowner. Excuse me. Any questions, I will try to answer. Thank you.
Okay, any questions? Is there anyone present or online that wishes to speak to this application? No? The wishes of the committee? Linda? Seconded. Lisa? File number ANPL 2025-114. In accordance with Section 45(1) of the Planning Act, the requested relief is considered to be appropriate for the proposed development, minor in nature, and maintains the general intent of the official plan and the zoning bylaw. No public input was received and therefore has not been considered as part of this application. All in favor? And that's carried.
Mr. Chairman, could I make a quick comment?
Okay.
I would like to thank the planners. Since this has been done, I'll say the Turkey Point applications have been done by our own planners. It certainly seems to have been short, to the point, and very approachable. So thank you. From when they were maybe being contracted out, I just feel it's really works very well. We understand before we even go into it.
Very good.
So thank you for that. Thank you, planners.
Thank you for that. Okay, next up is ANPL 2025-109, Adam Redekop. And the planner can give the report, please.
My apologies, sorry. I had the wrong description put in my notes here, so I apologize for that. Through the chair, I do want to note that additional technical comments have been provided for this that came in after the publishing of the report. These should have all been circulated by email or in front of you as well, just for your reference. So an application has been received to seek relief of 202.24 square meters in usable floor area for accessory buildings to allow a total usable floor area of 402.24 square meters and relief from section 11.1.1 of the zoning bylaws to allow for the construction of an accessory building in the hazard lands. The subject lands are located on the west side of Second Concession ENR at its intersection with Fairground Road. The area of the subject lands is approximately 7,891 square meters with approximately 71.8 meters of frontage onto Fairground Road. The subject lands are occupied by a single detached dwelling and 2 detached garages, resulting in a lot coverage of approximately 105.1 square meters for accessory structures. The property is designated and zoned as both agricultural and hazard lands. The proposed detached garage is intended to be located primarily within the portion of lands designated as hazard land. The official plan states that non-habitable uses accessory to the permitted uses in the designation are permitted, and as such, the proposed accessory building would conform with the general intent and purpose of the official plan. However, the zoning bylaw states that no building or structure shall be permitted in the hazard land zone. As such, the proposal does not conform to the general intent and purpose of the zoning bylaw, nor is the proposed location considered desirable for the development of the lands. The structure could be placed elsewhere on the property to avoid this issue. Planning staff recommend that the application be deferred to allow the applicant to investigate a potential hazard land boundary amendment or to propose an alternative location for the accessory building outside of the hazard land zone. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Any questions? Is there an agent or applicant online or in the house? No? Is there anyone else that wishes to speak to this application? We have a recommendation for deferral. The wishes of the committee are? Councillor Van Passen moves.
No, Mr. Chairman. I'd like to move approval of this. They want to build a building. Part of half the building is going to be in an arbitrarily designated hazard land line that goes because it's an artificial structure of a municipal drain that's built there. So it's not protecting any natural features. What it's actually doing by putting the barn there, I think, is that they won't have to cut down the one nice big spruce tree that's out there in the middle of their yard. But it's an arbitrary line from a man-made structure. It's not a natural hazard. It's not protecting anything. They meet the criteria of the 9 meters for maintenance on a municipal drain. Why waste our staff time and resources to fill out another application to allow them to build half a building in a hazard land? Just let them do it now and not worry about it. So I'd move that it be approved.
Okay. Seconder?
I'll second that.
Linda? Okay. File number AMPL 2025-109 to allow the applicant, oh, that's for deferral. So we're just moving to approve. All in favor? And that's carried. Peter, what are you voting in favor or against?
I'm voting against, Mr. Chair. I think it should be deferred. I think if the hazard land is really that way, it should be a slam dunk getting LPRCA to change the line. So,
okay, it was carried anyway.
yeah.
Thank you. Oh, that's the wrong one. Okay. File number BNPL 2025-166 in the name of Richard Troyer, and the planner can give the report, please.
Through the chair, I'm requesting to
Doing
hear the two consents and the
okay.
variance at the
Oh
same
my,
time.
that's a bonus.
Two consent
Carry on.
two consent applications have been received to sever lands for the purposes of 2 boundary adjustments to the same farm parcel. A related minor variance application has been received requesting relief from the minimum lot area to facilitate the undersized retained lands. The lands front onto the south side of Goshen Road in the geographic township of Middleton. The intent of the application is to add land to the adjacent farm and maintain a residential use on the retained lands. Planning staff support the applications and recommend that they be approved. The consents are subject to a list of conditions.
Thank you. Is there a planner, applicant or agent present? Yes, sir.
I have 3 easy questions for you. Can I do that now?
Okay.
I'm Rick Troyer. I'm the applicant.
Okay.
Sorry.
Sure thing.
Yep. First question, my 911 sign with the approval of this application, it'll be on the wrong side. Does that get moved within, a week or 10 days?
Through the chair, you can contact GIS for that. If you want to just contact the planner, we can connect you with how to deal with the
They move it, do they?
Typically, yes, but I think you need I can't remember if you need new civic addresses for this one or not, if that was one of the conditions. But typically, yes, they would, if it's being moved, you'll need a different number. So that's something we'll have to discuss.
Okay, the number doesn't change.
Okay, well, we can go through that with you, what the requirements are.
Okay. This was all changed within family. So the barn in the field was given to us 20 years ago. And my son has since purchased the farm from our in-laws. And we're returning the barn and the field back to the farm. I've been charged $13,300. It just sounds exorbitant for something like that within the family. So I'm asking, can somebody in the planning department maybe have another look at that fee that I was charged? It sounds like an awful lot.
Through the chair, unfortunately, regardless of whether it's just family or not, it's meant to capture the work completed by planning. So planning operates on a cost recovery basis.
Yeah.
So taxes from other property owners basically don't cover it. So it's because you need multiple applications. That's why it ended up being that amount. But we don't have any ability as staff to kind of reduce or waive those fees.
So it can't get reviewed?
Through the chair, no. You would have to speak to council about that.
Okay, all right. That's fine.
That's
thank you.
2 questions. You got one more.
Yeah,
if
there
you-
was one more, I forget what the hell it was.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone present that wishes to speak to this application? No? Okay, we'll do these separately. BNPL 2025166. Well, we got a mover and a seconder to do all 3. You're moving and seconding all 3, Joe? Moving? Seconder? Lisa? So BNPL 2025166, the application is consistent with the provincial policy statement, conforms with the policies of the Norfolk County Official Plan regarding consent to sever in the eggs designation, and meets the intent of the zoning bylaw. No public input was received and therefore is not being considered as part of this application. All those in favor? And that's carried. And BNPL 2024193, again, the same. All in favor? Oh, that was Joe and Lisa. All in favor? And that's carried. And finally, ANPL 2024192, in accordance with Section 45(1) of the Planning Act, the requested relief is considered to be appropriate for the proposed development, minor in nature, and maintains the general intent of the official plan. All those in favor? That's carried. A motion to adjourn. Phil and Lisa. At 6:12. All in favor?